April 11th, 1970. Apollo 13 lifts off from Kennedy Space Center, a roaring blaze of fire and smoke. 3 astronauts, Jim Lovell, Fred Haise, and Jack Swigert, ascend toward the black expanse of space, bound for the Sea of Serenity on the Moon. It's a routine mission, or at least, it should have been. But in the vast, silent void, routine has a way of turning deadly. 2 days into the flight, the crew drifts in the serene emptiness between Earth and Moon. Instruments hum, oxygen flows, and the astronauts float weightless, sipping coffee, joking lightly over the radio. Then, without warning, a sharp bang rattles the spacecraft. Alarms flash. Oxygen tanks spike, then drop. Something is very wrong. Jim Lovell's voice cuts through the tension. "Houston, we've had a problem." The words are calm, deliberate, but the fear behind them seeps into every control room on Earth. Mission control erupts into motion. Engineers scramble through diagrams and telemetry, their faces pale under harsh fluorescent lights. Every second counts. Every calculation could be the difference between life and death. Inside the spacecraft, the explosion has damaged the service module. Oxygen levels plummet. Carbon dioxide begins to build. The tiny, fragile craft that carried them to the Moon is now a ticking time bomb in the cold, unforgiving vacuum of space. The astronauts must act, and they must act perfectly. There is no room for error. Lovell and Haise move into the lunar module, the small lander designed only for moon landings, now their lifeboat. Swigert guides the crippled command module, keeping systems online with expert precision. Every switch flipped, every valve opened or closed, is a step toward survival. Outside, the blackness of space presses in, indifferent to human fragility. Back on Earth, NASA engineers work around the clock, improvising solutions with whatever they have on hand. They simulate the spacecraft in control rooms, cobbling together life-saving procedures from pencil, paper, and raw ingenuity. They know that the crew has mere hours of oxygen left. One mistake, one miscalculation, and the astronauts will drift silently into the void, never to return. Inside the lunar module, Lovell stares at the dimly lit panels. Red warning lights blink like the eyes of a predator. The air is cold. Food and water are rationed, systems fail one after another, and the 3 men cling to the edges of survival. They communicate with mission control, voices steady, words precise, hiding the terror that lurks beneath. Every maneuver must be exact, a tiny misalignment, and they risk spinning uncontrollably into the infinite. Engineers on Earth instruct them to power down systems, conserve energy, and improvise a co-filter from duct tape, cardboard, and flight manuals. It's a makeshift solution for an impossible problem, a testament to human creativity in the face of imminent death. Time stretches. Minutes feel like hours. Outside, the stars continue to shine, uncaring, eternal. The spacecraft swings around the Moon, the astronauts peering at the desolate surface, knowing they will not land. Their mission to explore is replaced by a more primal goal: return alive. Each orbit brings them closer to Earth, each mile a gamble against dwindling oxygen and rising carbon dioxide. Silence and tension hang in the module, broken only by the hum of life support systems struggling to keep them alive. And then, as they begin their journey home, a new challenge emerges: re-entry. The spacecraft must survive friction, heat, and precision navigation, all while systems remain fragile, warnings flashing, and every decision carries the weight of mortality. Every heart on Earth is tied to these 3 men, suspended in a void that could claim them in an instant. Somewhere between the Moon and Earth, survival is no longer about exploration. It is about ingenuity, courage, and sheer human will. And even as hope flickers, faint but unbroken, the shadow of disaster lingers, waiting to test them one final time. The crippled spacecraft limps through the void, every mile a testament to precision and patience. Inside, the astronauts huddle in the lunar module, which now serves as a lifeboat. It's cramped, cold, and suffocating. Oxygen is rationed, water is scarce, and carbon dioxide filters must be improvised from unlikely materials. A jury-rigged assembly of duct tape, plastic bags, and cardboard. Survival has become a puzzle with impossible pieces. Mission control monitors every heartbeat, every breath, every electrical pulse. The engineers' fingers fly over keyboards and switches, calculating trajectories, burn sequences, and power management with meticulous care. One wrong number, one misfired thruster, and the astronauts could be lost forever, tumbling silently through the black. Outside, stars glimmer like distant beacons, indifferent to human struggle. Lovell floats through the module, adjusting panels, monitoring gauges, guiding Haise as he checks life support systems. Swigert works the command module's limited functions, conserving every ounce of power, every amp of current. Their conversations are calm, professional, but the tension is a living thing, pressing down on them like the immense weight of space itself. Every decision is a gamble. Then, new problems arise. The lunar module systems were never meant to sustain 3 men for this long. Batteries deplete faster than expected. Temperatures drop. Frost forms on panels, and the cabin grows dangerously cold. Equipment begins to fail in unpredictable ways. They must improvise constantly, relying on training, instinct, and sheer ingenuity. Each moment is a battle against physics, against entropy, against the vast emptiness outside. On Earth, engineers work feverishly, devising the sequence for course corrections, planning burns with split-second precision. They calculate trajectories using slide rules, not computers, relying on raw human skill. NASA becomes a single organism, the crew, the controllers, the engineers, all intertwined in one desperate mission to bring 3 men home alive. Every maneuver brings danger. A miscalculated engine burn could send the spacecraft into a fatal spin. Oxygen levels must be monitored constantly. Carbon dioxide threatens to choke them slowly, invisibly. The astronaut survival hinges on a fragile balance between mechanical precision and human determination. The crew communicates tirelessly with Houston. Lovell reports on the improvised co-scrubbers. Haise complains of the cold and fatigue, but no words of despair escape them. Swigert recalibrates instruments, adjusts course, and powers down non-essential systems to conserve energy. Their training is tested in ways no simulation could have prepared them for. The spacecraft swings around the moon, gravity assisting their journey home. Every orbit is a calculated risk. Outside, the lunar surface is a silent witness to their struggle. Jagged craters and desolate plains stretching endlessly. They cannot land. Their mission of discovery is replaced entirely by survival. Every mile they cover brings them closer to Earth, but danger lurks in every shadow of space. As days pass, food dwindles, water becomes rationed, and fatigue gnaws at the edges of their minds. Sleep is brief, fitful, and haunted by the awareness of how close they came to never returning. Yet, despite exhaustion, despite the cold and the fear, they remain steady. Calm under pressure, they navigate the impossible with courage and ingenuity. And then, a new threat emerges: re-entry. The spacecraft must survive the scorching heat of the atmosphere, a test far more deadly than the void they have already traversed. The heat shield must hold. Systems must function flawlessly. Every calculation must be perfect. Outside, Earth rises over the horizon, blue, fragile, and full of hope. Even as they prepare, the shadow of disaster lingers. One small error could turn survival into tragedy. The astronauts and mission control face the final, most perilous challenge of their journey. Every breath, every heartbeat, every flick of a switch is now amplified by the knowledge that home is tantalizingly close, yet still a battlefield of fire, friction, and precision. And as they brace for the fiery return, the line between life and death narrows, and the world waits, holding its collective breath, for the impossible to become reality. Re-entry begins. The spacecraft, battered and fragile, plunges into Earth's atmosphere at over 24,000 miles per hour. Heat builds instantly, a searing wall of fire pressing against the thin metal hull. Temperatures rise beyond what any human-built system was meant to endure. Inside, the astronauts are strapped into their seats, helmets locked, eyes wide but steady, hands gripping controls as the ship shakes violently. Every second is a test of endurance, every fraction of a degree a potential death sentence. Mission control counts the seconds aloud, their voices tense, measured, almost holding their breath in unison with the crew. Outside, the blackness of space gives way to the orange-red inferno of atmospheric friction. The heat shield groans under the pressure, a mechanical heartbeat under the hands of men who have faced the impossible and survived. Inside the module, Lovell's voice cuts through the roar. "We're okay. We're still okay." Calm, precise, yet every word carries the weight of near catastrophe. The module shudders violently, systems flicker, and communication intermittently drops. One misalignment, one twist, one failure, and the crew would be lost in seconds. But they press forward, steered by training, instinct, and the fragile lifeline of Earth below. The world watches. Families, engineers, and strangers alike hold their breath as the tiny craft streaks through the sky. Television screens flicker with black and white images of the capsule descending, a fireball cutting through the clouds, proof of both human vulnerability and human genius. Each second feels like an eternity. Inside, the heat builds. The cabin is almost unbearable, yet the astronauts focus, checking systems, monitoring instruments, adjusting angles. The lunar module, never meant for this phase of flight, has done its job. It has been their lifeboat, their shield, and now, every ounce of skill and ingenuity is put to the ultimate test. Finally, the friction begins to subside. The inferno outside softens to a blazing glow. The spacecraft stabilizes. Parachutes deploy in a cascade of controlled chaos, slowing their descent, billowing like enormous white flowers against the blue ocean below. The three men feel the sudden jolt, the tug of gravity returning, a sensation almost alien after days of weightlessness. Splashdown. The capsule hits the Pacific with a roar, rocking violently, sending waves crashing over its hull. Rescue teams are already waiting, helicopters hovering, ships moving in formation. For a moment, silence reigns inside the module. Then, the first words of relief crack through. "We're home." Lovell, Haise, Swigert, alive, shaken, exhausted, but alive. On Earth, the collective sigh of millions carries across the globe. NASA engineers, mission controllers, and families exhale, knowing that the impossible has been achieved. A combination of courage, ingenuity, and relentless calm has brought three men back from the brink of death, 200,000 miles from home, against every odd and every expectation. Apollo 13 is no longer just a mission to the moon. It becomes a story of survival, of human ingenuity tested to the absolute limit. A tale of how calm minds, clever improvisation, and teamwork can bend the rules of reality itself. How life can prevail in the face of near-certain death. And as Lovell steps onto the deck of the recovery ship, his eyes scanning the endless horizon, he reflects on the fragility of human endeavor and the enduring power of resolve. Apollo 13 did not land on the moon, but it achieved something perhaps greater. A victory over the void, a triumph over disaster, and a reminder that even in the darkest reaches of space, human courage can shine brighter than the stars themselves. The mission that should have died, lived.